Hey guys, it's your boy Progress, and welcome back to a brand new video today. If you want to go and follow me on my other social media accounts, I've got my Twitter and Instagram on screen right now, so if you want to go follow those, then go ahead. But let's get into today's video. Today, I'm gonna tackle the confusing beast that is Russ. For those of you who don't know, Russ is a rapper whose name is very controversial in the hip-hop scene for many things that I will get into today, such as the legitimacy of his self-made come-up, issues with his ego, and much more. Oh yeah, and he's also the guy on the poster over here, the Russ poster. So yeah. Someone in the comments of Russ's Montreality interview summed up Russ almost perfectly. Russ uses many words to say very little. This is mostly in reference to how he acts on things like social media and in his interviews, where he thinks very highly of himself but just does not have the capability of explaining to us why we should feel the way he does. He often lets his ego get in the way of things, especially when in the Montreality interview he was even asked just a simple question like, "Oh, what is the most romantic thing that you've ever done for someone?" And he had to say this.
You know, the most productive you could do with a woman or with anyone in general in life is mentally the shit out of them and put them onto some new wavelengths and new material knowledge-wise so they can use it to make their life better. See, that's the thing. Anyone that's ever been around me, any girl that's ever been around me, they might hate me, they might not with me, whatever the it is, but they will never be able to say that I didn't completely enhance and elevate their mindset. And that's the best thing I could do for you. And that's the most romantic I could do for you. What is romantic? I mean, what? You want, like, I laid out flowers and then she got in the tub? Like, what did that do for anyone after the first 5 hours? Like, please.
He's the type of guy who basically sees his life and knowledge as so important that he could change a woman's life, and that is the most romantic thing possible that you could do, even though that's not even really what the definition of romance would allow to have in it. But of course, to Russ, words don't mean anything. Which, piggybacking off of that, Russ often uses a lot of big words incorrectly. And in actually that same Montreality interview, I was able to see where he said this.
And then once you do like a certain like esoteric amount of accomplishments.
Russ. Esoteric means designed for or understood by the specially initiated alone. Basically, it means it's something that is used by or understood by very few people, whereas by Russ's hand gestures and the way he's structuring his sentence, it sounds like he believes that esoteric is a replacement word for a large quantity of something, which just isn't true. Just want to let you guys know, I'm not saying all of these things about the words being wrong because I care that the word is said wrong. I'm saying it because Russ tries to act like he's a really smart dude and that he has so much knowledge to offer, but yet he's using big words that he doesn't even understand how to use, so he's actually kind of dumb. Once again, on the topic of Russ trying to use words that just don't have weight in his sentences, he often likes to use the word society. He says things like, society wants you to believe this, or society says you should do that, but he never explains what society is or who society is.
That's another problem with society, right? Society wants to hold the key to your confidence in their pocket. They want to say, oh, you know what? I know you feel like you should feel good about yourself and you should feel like you're a king and you're confident, but relax, we'll let you know when.
Who is society supposed to be, Russ? Is it the random dude in the Tim Hortons parking lot? Is it supposed to be the government? Is it supposed to be just like this section of people or that section of people? There's never a true definition of who society is that Russ is referencing, and as you'll see across most of his things, he decides to change society to be whoever he just doesn't like. I wanted to research a little bit more in depth on Russ because it just felt like there was a little bit too much ego or a little bit too much arrogance coming from him to make any sense at all. Like, of course there's rappers who think that they're really cool and think that they're awesome, but on the level that Russ does it, and on the amount of things he gets wrong and uses wrong, it just seemed like something wasn't right. And while researching for this video, I think I may have found something that you guys will think is pretty interesting, that could possibly explain Russ's insane ego as well as his very odd views of things. Russ is a cultist, or at least believes in cultist beliefs. Now I know, before you start calling me crazy and going into the comments saying that I'm a liar and everything like that, we have actual proof of this. In that same Montreality interview that I've been referencing, they end up getting onto the topic of the law of attraction, they call it, and I will let Russ explain his views on that.
It's your thoughts are things. Your thoughts are like, they hold weight. And there's a big pool of energy in the universe that if you connect, everyone's actually connected to it. You know what I'm saying? We're just the universe experiencing ourselves. But when you really like tune into that ideology that, yo, my thoughts do turn into something. If I believe in it and I put the right energy behind it, you can really make what you want to have happen. You know, exactly like you said, law of attraction. We got what we wanted out of life.
The law of attraction is a belief that was created by a cult called New Thought. Although they call themselves just a belief system, it's a little bit more in depth than that. New Thought is a cult that is based off the writings of a man named Phineas Quimby, who is listed in the Encyclopedia Britannica as being an American cult leader. It's also listed on other sites as well that Quimby was a hoaxer and a mesmerist, otherwise known as a hypnotist. And although he may have given himself the title of Dr. Phineas P. Quimby, his education actually ended in grade school. New Thought's belief system works as listed. Quimby had developed a belief system which included the tenet that illness originated in the mind as a consequence for erroneous beliefs, and that a mind open to God's wisdom could overcome any illness. The law of attraction, as I said, is a subsection of the New Thought cult's belief system. That positive or negative thoughts bring positive or negative experiences into a person's life. They basically believe that you can manifest anything into being reality. Not in just a sense of like, oh, you know, I think good things and good things can happen. They truly believe that if you put positive energy into one thing, that it no matter what will happen. As it said with the other stuff about illness, it believes that illness is just a thing in the mind and you can overcome anything just by believing it. That's why Russ talked about that in the Montreality interview, of saying that everyone is just in a pool of thoughts and all it takes is just believing in something for it to work. Which of course we know just simply isn't true. There are outside forces that have an effect on what the outcome for us is, which obviously the cult does not actually take into account. Also, not only has Russ talked about the law of attraction in that interview, he's also tweeted about it a few times, and he's even included certain parts of the belief system in his lyrics from a song called Manifest, which also, creepily enough, has a magic looking glass ball as the cover art for the song. So to put it in short, Russ is spreading the beliefs of a cult leader who has a grade school education. Take all of that information as you will, but I think spreading cult beliefs just is not a good look, especially when you have a following of that size. But now that that has been explained, I also want to bring up why people are so skeptical about Russ's self-made come-up, as he calls it. Fans of Russ would easily know Russ's name being Russ Vital from tweets and songs mentioning it, but it's less about who Russ is and more about who his father is, who you would have known about from when Russ got him a new car. Because his father is the CEO of a marketing and advertising company and has worked in advertising and marketing for a very long time. There's claims that go as far as saying that Russ's father's company actually worked with Columbia Records and then he ended up getting signed to them, but I couldn't find anything that directly linked to that. But one thing that there definitely is proof of that says that he basically is not as self-made as he wants it to seem is that Russ has the same booking manager as Eminem and Tupac had. And this was since before he was even signed to a label. And I'm not just making this up, Russ himself actually even said the same thing in an interview with Hip Hop Wired. The point of bringing those two things up isn't to discredit Russ's success, it's more to say that Russ is not a starting from nothing to something or this self-made person. It's very obvious that Russ and his father also have a good relationship, so it wouldn't be a stretch to say that Russ definitely had help with his father when it came to marketing and advertising himself, which is a leg and an arm more forward in the game than some people would have when they come from absolutely nothing. And having such a colossal manager be your manager when they are the same booking manager for people like Eminem, it's obvious that he has a very, very big push in the industry, more than he had claimed. And now I just want to use a bit of a last point, and that is more so the personal opinion zone, okay? So this is going into personal zone, and my personal opinion is that Russ's music just isn't that good. I'm sure that there might be something out there that I could possibly see as being good from him, but for the most part, all of his production always seems so empty, and it seems like it's made up of only a few instruments or relies entirely on the sample that the song is based on. He just never incorporates anything that's that interesting into his music. His vocal mixing also seems like one of the things that is especially bad on some songs like Ain't Going Back. And he has no one to blame other than himself for these things, as he always says that he is the one who does his own production, his own mixing, and his own vocals. Everything he claims is his own, so if it's sounding bad, it's his fault. There's definitely some upsides to Russ, like how he's heavily against how drugs are promoted. Wrong me from a few days ago. It turns out that somebody actually exposed Russ for having old tweets that mentioned him getting high and using drugs like lean and other shit like that. So yeah, it turns out that that's not even true either, so never mind. But all of those things are just so overshadowed by his insane ego and many other things, you know, like spreading cult beliefs, but, yeah. Which, of course, if you like him, I'm not saying you can't listen to him, I'm just simply telling you the things that I have found out about him that make me not like him. But yeah, I think that's gonna have to do it for Russ Talk for today. And, of course, I can't leave out the biggest, most amazing thank you to my $10 and up patrons. You guys are so great. Those being Tazier, Scrubby, Medusa Lives, Tex, Marshall Milano, and Mercedes Mayfield. You guys are so amazing, and it helps me out so much every single month to be able to afford things like the video editing software that I pay for, and even just to upkeep this kind of content. It helps me so much. Thank you guys. It means the world to me. Anybody who is looking to donate to my Patreon, that is down in the description below, so go and check out. There might be some perks you find interesting that I have down there, so yeah, if you want to go check it out, then go do that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. It means the world to me. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.
They ain't see me down, not now on top, bitch. I might fuck around, made it sound like fun, bitch. Bring it up and down for the crown abundance. I ain't gonna drown with a frown, I got this. They ain't see me down, not now.